Okay, good evening, good morning, and good afternoon. You're welcome once again to another wonderful IG session with me today. I am your host as usual. My name is Seyi Agbede and I am a learning and development specialist, and my purpose is to help people identify their purpose and become better versions of themselves. I usually like to say I am the shortest distance between who you are and who you want to become. So you are welcome to this live Instagram session. Once again, there's going to be a lot of learning moments. There's going to be a lot of fun and sharing and learning together. And the title of what we're looking at today is called Taking Hold of Your Success in This Jet Area. Taking hold of your success in this jet area. So wherever it is that you're joining us from, I celebrate you. You are welcome to this live Instagram session with me today. And very, very soon, I'm going to bring up our guest for today. As usual, I have an amazing speaker that will be joining us today. Another wonderful beginning of another wonderful week. The week has been going well, and the year has been going well as well. And I hope you are beginning to actualize the visions and the desires it is that you have for this particular year. I don't want us to waste any much time in this, so we're going to be going right very shortly. But before we get started, I just wanted to talk about a few things about how our world has changed, because some people might be wondering, talking about this jet area, what is actually different about how things are done now and how things used to be done in the past and all of that. Now, the thing is, the changes it is that we're experiencing before the pandemic, post-pandemic, have now even been escalated. So the level of changes, the level of discrepancies in what we used to have and what we have right now is alarming. And let me just point out a few things about our world today. Just not something that you'll be hearing for the first time, but just a pointer at how our world is really changing. So it's not news. Technology is taking over our lives and our world. When we had the lockdowns, the only form of communication was via technology. So that is arguably the most vivid thing to everybody now. Technology is taking over our world. Do you know that presently we have over 4.7 billion people using the internet? 4.7 billion people out of a total world population of about 7 billion people. 4.7 of them are on the internet. Very interesting. As at the end of 2021, we had about 35 billion devices that were connected to the internet. Can you imagine that? So we have more devices on the internet than we have people. As a matter of fact, we have about 5 times more devices connected to the internet than we have people on the face of the earth. Very interesting facts, right? Now, do you know that every minute, over 400 new websites are created? Interesting things happening in our world. There are over 7 billion searches on Google every day. I mean, towards the end of last year, we got new statistics about the most searched search engine in the world. It has come up as TikTok, even though I have some reservations about that. I would appreciate if we could get more details from another authority that has done their own research as well. But the fact we have written out right now, TikTok is the most search engine in the world. But Google has over 7 billion searches every day. Interesting things about our world. Do you know that the top 10 jobs in the world as at 2010 did not exist in 2004? So the jobs that were making the most waves as at 2010, those jobs were not even in existence. Not that they had started, they were not even in existence as at 2004. Those are alarming things. So what that means is 5 years from now, some jobs, some professions that we so much are holding on to right now may have been eradicated. So for example, if your vision and desire is to become a petrochemical engineer, for example, are you aware that in some parts of the world, like in the UK, they have said, okay, UK in particular, for example, they have set the year 2030 to scrap out fossil fuel vehicles in the UK. So by 2030, they will stop using vehicles that have to use petrol or diesel. So if your target is to become a petrochemical engineer, if you do not do something about yourself and you're living in the UK at that time, what that means is you will become obsolete. That's how our world is changing. There are so many different things. Let me just give you one more fact before we go on to bring our guest on to this. Now, the amount of technology that we are receiving every year, the amount of technology we are receiving is doubling every 2 years. So what that means is for a student that goes into school, higher institution, maybe a 4-year program, by the time they get into the 3rd year of their program, everything they learned in the 1st year of school is already obsolete. They have not graduated. They have not gone into the labor market to go and use that thing that they've learned. As at the 3rd year of their study, what they learned in 1st year is already obsolete. That's how things are changing around us. So how do we now thrive, succeed in this changing world? That's why we are here today, and that's what we are here to talk about. And to help us with this conversation, I have an outstanding personality here with us. I'm going to bring her up.
Loretha Akhagbemhe is a business analyst by profession. She holds a degree in business administration from Cyprus International University, North Cyprus, and a BA certification from an institute in Canada. Loretha has acquired several years of international experience in tourism and education. She is the host of The Best Version of You podcast and the author of the book The Journey: How to Win Your Race. Loretha is passionate about seeing people, especially young ladies, pursue their dreams and achieve great success. She believes we all deserve to be loved and cared for, despite the circumstances, and she stands to care for and support anyone that comes her way with her big heart of love in any means possible. Joining us to discuss the topic, taking hold of your success in this jet era, ladies and gentlemen, make welcome Loretha Akhagbemhe.
You're welcome.
Hi, Mr. Seyi. I'm so happy to be here to meet you all today. Like that bio you are doing, all this plenty extras you're giving me. I'm not like that. I'm just one small me here, and I'm so glad. I'm so glad to be here with you today. Honestly, I don't take this for granted, and I hope our listeners would get one or two things today. So yeah, it's such a pleasure. Thank you so much for bringing me. Thank you.
All right, fantastic. So I know I have read your bio. Very loaded bio, but talk to us. Who is Loretha?
All right, I'll just try to sum that bio up. Well, I'm just a young, aspiring young lady who actually see the best in life. So I would start. I'm a Nigerian, but currently based in Canada, and I lived in the US for a while. I had my degree in North Cyprus in Turkey. So I actually had my international experience as a result of me traveling at a very young and early age. It's been over a decade now and counting since I left the country. And all in the pursuit of knowledge, to be honest. I actually decided to leave because of education. And I realized that Nigeria didn't, at that time, which people actually now say is worse, but at that time I felt like Nigeria didn't have what I wanted. I was really aspiring for so much knowledge. So that made me, I actually left Nigeria on my own with no support, and that made me leave the country just to follow my education. And at the process of that, I decided to migrate to the US, got a few knowledge and ideas and experience as well. And I finally got based in Canada. So Canada is my base right now. And with regards to my podcast, yes, my podcast was birthed as a result of the challenges people go through. I for one, I had to deal with a point in my life where I was a bit down. I felt like there was really nobody. And in the midst of the struggles that I was dealing with, there was no care, there was no love, there was no attention. But I knew that I wanted more for myself. So amidst that trouble, I told myself that I would encourage people out there. I will inspire a lot of people, because I really didn't get as much inspiration that I wanted, but because I had to keep my heads up high, to be honest. I had my heads up high, even though things were not as rosy as I wanted them to be. I kept telling myself that I would do it and I would definitely get there. So as the journey was going, I found people who had struggles too. I saw people who had challenges, and I knew that I needed to be a voice for them. I knew I needed to support them, and that's why I decided to come out with the podcast of the best version of you, giving you tips and experiences, bringing guests your way, telling people that they can actually do it. And at the end of the day, I actually intend to support as many as I could support. Yeah. So that's me in a nutshell, having to do my best, reaching out to people, being an educationist as well, and encouraging people out there. Yeah, that's me.
Oh, wow. Fantastic. Now, so you kind of mentioned towards the end of what you talked about there, you said you're also an educationist. So tell us about that. What do you do in the education?
Okay, so because I studied in North Cyprus, I decided to help people who want to relocate with terms of education. So I became an educational consultant. So what my firm does is people reach out to us and say they want to go to school in North Cyprus, and then we help them secure the admission and walk them through the process of getting the admission, settling down in school, and then becoming a graduate. So regardless of whatever you're doing right now, if you determined to go to school and you're looking for an affordable education outside of the borders of Africa, North Cyprus is a good option for you, and that's what I decided and started working on. And I have partners who I work together with, and I've been having students testify. Now, one thing I'll tell you is there's no country that has it all figured out. So if you say, oh, I hear some talk about North Cyprus not being the best place to go to school, people say they kill people there. It's not perfect. So I lived in the US and I live in Canada right now, so I can tell you that there's really no place that is like heaven or perfect, but it's a step for you to actually get out of your zone, like get out of where you're struggling. If Nigeria is a place that you know that it has nothing for you, which a lot of people say Nigeria has nothing for them, and you really think you want to further your education and you don't want to rob a bank, because to be honest, other countries will actually require so much from you, and if you cannot afford it, like coming from a middle class home and there's no support from you, or even as a single person, striving person really wanting to survive on your own, and you've saved some money somewhere and you think getting an education, which is another very easy way to migrate, is what you want to do, North Cyprus is an option for you, and that's how I decided to start that foundation to help people do that. Yes.
Fantastic. Yeah. Thank you very much. Now, we also know you're an author and you have a book, The Journey, How to Win Your Race. Talk to us about that book.
Oh,
what's
my
the book
God.
about? What motivated you, and what's the book? Talk to us about the book.
Oh, The Journey, How to Win Your Race. Yes. Okay, that's just the story of my life, to be honest. So I am the first child of a family of 4. I lost my mom recently, and I lost my baby brother as well. So, but before then, it's okay, it's fine, I'm trying to get over it then. But before then, I said I left the country at a very tender age. So as when I left, it was not funny. I could remember vividly well. My mom saw me off to the airport at that time, and I was really tiny, to be honest. I'm still a very tiny person, but then I was so tiny that people at the airport were looking at my parents and like, how are you letting this child go to school like by herself? And I was this very tiny one, but then I had the guts. I don't know where the guts came from, but you couldn't look down on me. You couldn't talk back at me. I would always say something, like, and I will always be that tiny bitty, like, you just cannot shut me up. So I had that boldness from wherever, I don't know where it came from, but I had that boldness to face my fears and face anything that came my way. So I just took up the courage and I said I was leaving, and my dad didn't believe me until I actually got the visa and got the admission. So when I was leaving the country, my parents were like, oh, are you going to be fine? I told them I was going to be okay. They shouldn't worry about me, that they should just focus on themselves. But getting to Cyprus was a different story. I knew it wasn't going to be easy, to be honest. I wasn't prepared for rosiness or heaven on earth or any that kind of thing. I knew it was going to be tough, but then I wasn't prepared for what I was going to get. Because like I said, I was really young. So when the hardness and the hardship and the difficulty came my way, there were times I broke down, to be honest. There was a time I actually told myself, I think I'm just going to go back home. It's better for me to go back home and suffer in my country than me struggling and dying in a strange land. And all the challenges I faced, but guess what? They made me who I am today. for every time I was faced with difficulty, I would always figure something out. It made me strong and resilient, that I started to be proactive in my thinking and in my dealings. Like, I could just sit down and I know that this and this and the things I need and I can afford them, but something will come up on me. I became creative. I started to do things, and to be honest, as God will have it, I got scholarship along the line in school and all that. But then it actually brought out the best in me, for me to be able to tell myself that no matter what I was dealing with at that time, I will be able to succeed. So me finishing my education, even at the time I finished school, I actually got my US visa even before I graduated. That's to tell you, I didn't sit to do my own graduation. So the day I was supposed to wear my gown was when I got a job in the US. I got a job offer. So I just had to let go, because I was done with school. So I just had to let go of the whole ceremonial, whatever that was going on in school. And then I just picked up myself and I decided to go to the US. So all the whole process from dealing with North Cyprus struggle and everything accumulated and getting to US, thinking the US was the heaven on earth, which a lot of people still feel US is heaven, but it's a comfort country. You get everything you want if you know what you're doing and you're putting your heads up there and you trust in God and you have goals in place. It's possible for you to achieve your dreams, to be honest. No doubt about that. I see people do it. I did it, and I'm sure everybody can do it. But then there were still hiccups along the line. So all those put together made me write my story. And for every time I had difficulties, I would always miss my mom, because she was really very, very close to me. She was like my best buddy. So I would always miss her. Life would hit me left and right, and I just had to just write my story. So it was better as a result of my experience and my story personally, and that's how I wrote the book, The Journey. Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's fantastic. Thank you very much. So you'll be sharing with us from your wealth of personal experience. You've had your own share of struggle, and you have been able to come out of it. You know, there's a difference between reading something off a book from someone that has never gone through it before, just theory, and having someone that has actually gone through these experiences and now sharing from their own wealth of experience. Perfect. Fantastic. So I think that's our cue to go into our topic for today, which is taking hold of your success in this jet era. Now, earlier, when I started this, I talked about a number of things that have changed about our world. Now, but talk to us. What exactly do you mean by this jet era that we're talking about? What exactly is different about the world we used to know and this era that we are in right now?
Wow, awesome. So I literally did some writing downs and all that, and just for us to get a clearer picture of what's going on right now. So the age we're in right now, it's like a speed war, to be honest. Things are changing very fast. Back then, there used to be, like, we know the telecommunication industry was doing more of the GSM with the whole antenna thing. It has changed. Things are changing, to be honest. We have smartphones now, we have smart TVs, we have smart fridge, we have smart cars. It's really, really changing. So before the pandemic, to be honest, we still believed that we were in the 21st century, which we are still in the 21st century. Well, it wasn't as proactive and fast as it is right now. Before pandemic, things were still done it was systematic. So it was taking the time, it was taking a step at a time. But right now, things don't even take steps. Like, somebody can just sit down right now and think out of the box, and it comes into reality. And you'll be amazed, like, in 2-3 months, things has changed. What you used to do back then, it doesn't used to look like that. Okay, back then, in the States, there used to be gas attendants who go to the gas station and fuel your gas for you and all that. But then now it doesn't happen like that. So you do it yourself. And as it's going, we won't even have customer service reps anymore. We won't have cashiers anymore, because technology has come whereby people just self-check out themselves. And I'm sure it's happening here in Canada. There's a particular store, it's called Dollarama. If you ever know Dollarama, if you know the store I'm talking about, Dollarama right now, they don't have cashiers. So at the end of the day, people will lose out of jobs, to be honest. They don't have cashiers. It's a very, very big store in the mall. As big as it is, we had to be on the line just for us to do self-checkout. And they had like 10 machines. And in my mind, I'm asking, I only saw one lady, and I'm asking, like, what's going on? And she's like, well, the company is restructuring, so they don't want any person in terms of cashier. So you have to buy your stuff, go to the checkout center, and then you just check out yourself, which means that at that point there's a downside in job because people are not going to lose that job. And as we see, it's going to get worse. To be honest, this is not me trying to tell you, oh, be ready, you're going to lose your job soon. But it's just me trying to tell you to think out of the box, be prepared. The era we're in right now, technology has taken over everything. Like it was said that Google has over 700 billion search in a day. You can imagine, people are searching things, people are inventing things, like 4.7 billion internet on a system. Like when you go online, you see everybody, people are online. So there's so much development going out there, and that's just what we have. It's speed. Speed is going fast. If you're not careful, if you're not alert, you might be left behind in terms of jobs, in terms of pursuits, in terms of your goals, in terms of inventions. Things are actually taking shapes, and that's why I said it's a jet era we're in right now.
Wow. I mean, like you said, it's not like you're being the prophet of doom, but with the changes that we're seeing, if people don't position themselves appropriately, they will be out of job. I mentioned earlier where the UK has announced that in the year 2030, they're going to ban all vehicles that are petrol or diesel use.
See what I'm talking about.
I was asking myself, okay, so for a country like Nigeria, that its entire income is based on petroleum products, so what happens when the developed nations stop buying this product because they've given themselves a target by 2030? You can't use this vehicle anymore in our country. So if they can't use it, that means they're not going to use fuel. So what are we going to do? So that means even as a nation, Nigeria needs to be thinking. But now we're more particular about the individual.
True. We need to be ready.
Be prepared. So many things are changing. You've talked about how you have self-service stores. You talked about the smart fridges earlier, where the fridge will make the orders and the orders drop at home. We're hearing things like even Amazon.
You are running out of stuff. I saw this is not me. This is not somebody telling me. I saw it in the store. The fridge talks and tell you you're running out of eggs. You're running out of milk, and I'm like, what's going on? Your fridge is talking to you, telling you things. Oh, before we said, it's magic. We see Alexia talking to you. Alexia talks to you and tells Alexia, please Alexia, wake me up at 6 o'clock. Alexia wakes you up. Alexia, please tune into Caleb State Radio for me. Alexia, tune into Caleb. Alexia, get me something on Google. It does this for you. So these are the things that's happening. It's going fast, and this is not us trying to say, we're in a world whereby it's the devil trying to remote things. It's just the stage at which it's going. It's just the technology is advancing. Now, if you want to take it spiritual and say, this is the devil trying to manipulate us from understanding things, the truth is it would always come at you because it's your comfort. And as Christians, God has given us the ability we need to be comfortable. We are not slaves. Our Father is not slave. He owns all these things. He possesses all these things. He creates these things. He gives you the intelligence, the wisdom, the knowledge that you need to be able to think out of the box and invent things. So these are things that has been created for our good. Now, when it becomes an abuse is when we use it for ulterior motive. That's when it becomes an abuse. Or when something is meant to be for your comfort or for your use or for your growth, and then you turn it into the negative aspect, then it becomes an abuse. Then we're actually not using it for what it's actually inventing to do. But other than that, I see no reason why the advancement in the technology and everything that's going on should be a problem to we kingdom ambassadors, to we Christians, because these things are meant for our usage and we need to use them. It's meant for us, and we should also run with the trend because things are changing as well.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. So we have highlighted how the world is. Now, how do we position ourselves for this change that we're experiencing?
Good. So as individuals, we need to position ourselves for this change. A lot of times I see people stuck with their rigid mentality, stuck with their rigid system, and then they tell you, this is how it's done. In my family, we don't get married to the people that are not Western. It has to be particularly tribe. Please, ma'am, please, sir. This is not me trying to talk about marriage here, but this is just me saying, we need to let go of some habits. We need to let go of some dogmas, some principles, some things that are, it's not working, to be honest. You getting married to somebody that is in the Western and somebody also getting married to another tribe. Please, what's the difference? Because I really do not understand. So as individuals, there are some things that to be able to flow and to be able to adapt to the era that we are in right now, we need to position ourselves and change our mentality. Our mindset needs to be, we need to change our mindset. There are some things that we hold on to that are really not needed, that are really not valuable to us right now. Whatever we think right now is what we're going to get. How you think is what comes to you, to be honest. So your belief system has to change. You have to change your mindset about certain things. There's some habits that people need to let go of in this new era, especially in this 2022, to be honest. There's some things, if you want to see success, if you want to really grow, there's some habits that you know that you've held on to for past years that are not working for you. It's time to let those habits go. Be ready to accept the change that's coming. So there's another thing about you knowing that there's a change and then you willing to actually accept the change. Some people are not willing to. Some people are aware that there's a change going out right there, but they're not willing to. But you need to be willing to accept this change. That's the only way it will work for you. Regardless of that, you will not see any movement. Now, I'm going to talk about 3 P's right now. 3 P's in the area of the success that people need to do. In terms of power, in terms of your presence with people, and in terms of your profits. Those 3 P's are the things that you need to work on as an individual to be able to move along in this stream. Now, in terms of your people, as an individual, who are your networks? Who are you relating with? Who are the people that are at your side, are propelling you to be successful? Who are your network of people? Now, they say, show me your friend and I'll tell you who you are. Sometimes, if you want to be successful, I think you need to move with successful people. Now, this is not me saying that if you have people who are less successful, they are inferior. No, this is just me saying for you to broaden your horizon, for you to have more ideas, you need to relate with successful people. I can walk up to you now and tell you, you know what, in the next 2 years, I'm going to get a Tesla. Or I'm going to build a 6-bedroom duplex. And you're like, I don't think so. Why do you tell me you don't think so? Because you don't own it. So you feel like, oh, Loretha doesn't even have the money to buy this or to build this. But I can walk up to somebody like Jeff Bosner or maybe Mark Zuckerberg and I tell him, you know what, I want to own your company. And he looks at me and is like, I think you can. Because why? It's possible. He owns a company. He runs a company. So he knows, he believes that any other person can actually run a company as well. So I think our mindset needs to change. A lot of times we limit ourselves. We make ourselves feel like, oh, it's not going to happen. I can't do this. I'm from a poor background. Oh, I don't have what it takes. Who says you don't have what it takes? Who says you need the network of people around you, the successful people around you, they will motivate you to actually be the best you want to be. They will motivate you to go ahead and push your dreams. As long as you're not limiting yourself, as long as your mindset is telling you, if you can do it, I can do it. So the people part, the presence, your presence matters a lot. Your presence should be very, very, you should position yourself at the right place. You need to get into networks, groups that will help you, and sell yourself out. That's one thing people don't do. Rebrand you have a brand. It's good. Personal branding, personal identity. What do you sell? What's your brand? What's the thing that you're known for? Whatever you're known for, you need to package it. Let people know this is what you do. You can't tell me you are a tailor, you make dresses, and then you don't have a flyer or you don't have an Instagram account. Please, how do you advertise your products, or you want to do one-on-one? How long are you going to keep doing one-on-one? You need to position yourself, sell yourself out. You never know where that opportunity will come because you never prepared for anything. But as long as you keep positioning yourself wherever you are, you don't even know what's going to happen to you. It's the same thing in LinkedIn. I see some people have a LinkedIn account. They don't write what they do. They're just there. I don't, to be honest, I don't understand how you are expected to meet with the people or you're expected to grow in that form. So people need to work with successful people. Position yourself in the right place whereby you will be able to be noticeable, and then you sell yourself out. You never know where the opportunity will come. To be honest, you don't know. Things happen. You never know where the opportunity will come, and then you'll be able to you see yourself thriving. So that's a very, 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 very good point. And then another one is the profit. Now, a lot of people have skills. A lot of people have tons of skills, but then they are too timid to want to make the sale. Now, this is not me saying, oh, you shouldn't go out and do freebies. This is not me saying you shouldn't deliver value. You shouldn't. People will come after you if you give value. People will pay if you can give value. That's one thing we don't know. If you can meet a need right now, if you put a price tag to to whatever you're doing, people will pay for it. I will pay for something I'm in need for. Right now, I feel like sometimes I have challenges with difficulty with my hair, women thing, trying to figure out. If I find somebody a service right now, this is just me trying to create, I might be saying this, somebody out there might be very smart and pick up this creativity and an idea. If I find a home service, something that will enable me make my hair at the comfort of my house, with me just paying you, I'll do it. I don't really need to go out there. I can't stand the stress because I have a lot of it. So I can't stand the stress of going out there, struggling, sitting, you pulling my hair, you doing this. If there is something that will keep my natural hair for me, as long and full as it is, and I will still look good with my hair, and then I don't have to stress and I pay you for it, I'm ready to do that. So these are things that people should consider. People should think about certain things in their life whereby you are positioning yourself, you are out there doing that thing, meeting that needs, regardless of the price people will think, regardless of the money that's coming. You are out there putting your presence out there, making that need, solving that problem with the value that you're creating. Tell me, give me any price tag, I'll pay for it. So the profit part, monetizing your skill. People don't monetize their skill. Oh, I know how, I'm a digital marketer. Okay, what are you doing about that? You're a digital marketer. Are you actually coming on? Are you advertising? Are you giving? What's the program that you're running? What's the program that you're running? How many courses have you got? How many courses do you have? People don't do all, they're scared. Oh, I don't know, if I tell them to pay $100 is too small. Deliver what you have first of all. Go out there, try it first. Even if it's two people that signed up, do those 2 people first. Let them see what you have. Be able to deliver what you have. Once you're able to deliver what you have and it's making impact in the lives of those people, trust me, your next cohort, you will get more than two clients. And that's how it starts.
Okay, Miss Loretha, you are dropping so many bombs. Even I am struggling to keep up with so many things you talked about. And thank you for those in the comments that are dropping their aha moments in the comments. Please, fantastic. Thank you. Continue to do that. Now, so you started off talking about how we need to have a change in mindset. A change in mindset and ensuring not to have limiting beliefs that will help us to move forward in life. Talked about that. And then you also talked about the 3 Ps. Talking about the change in mindset, you talked about how we need to surround ourselves with the right personalities, the right people. Now, the 3 Ps, you talked about power, you talked about your presence, and then you talked about profit, if I'm right with those 3 Ps. Now, even though while you were talking as well, you talked about some other parts of some other Ps. So you talked about people, which is also part of the presence as well. I mean, these are very, very fantastic things that you're dropping for us. Thank you very much. I mean, you can see the comment section. Everybody is really appreciating what you're doing. Now, so for people that have these habits, some people have some bad habits that need to be jettisoned. How would you recommend, first of all, how do we identify these habits? And then how do we deal with these habits?
Okay.
If it's possible, can we eradicate them? Can we minimize them? How do we do that? Because, I mean, some of these habits is as good as someone waking up in the morning, I want to lose weight. Sometimes it's easier said than done.
I know, right? I know.
How do we have practical steps on how to effectively put these things into practice? So you talked about the mindset, the limiting beliefs. How do we deal with these limiting beliefs? These bad habits that we have. How do we identify them and deal with these habits? Please talk to us about it.
All right. So part of the habits I understand that a lot of people deal with presently is, some of them are procrastination. Some people will tell you, oh, I'm going to do this, things that you could have actually done immediately, but you just put it off and you're like, I'll come back to it. Time has gone, my dear. Your time is going and it's not waiting for anybody. Some other habits, again, that people actually take hold of is distraction. They're distracted by, what people will say, inferiority complex, I don't think I can do it. Like I said, your beliefs and all that. So those are the habits people need to let go of. Take away procrastination, take away your negative mindset, speak positivity to yourself, and then invest in yourself. These things are things that people don't do, and they are habits that they've actually dreamed and they've worn as gown and clothes and is living with them. But now practical steps for you to actually have a new life and taking a hold of your success. First of all, I will tell you, your mindset still has to change. So if your mindset has always been your negative belief, I can't, I think right now you need to tell yourself that you can. If it means you waking up in the morning, looking at the mirror and looking at how beautiful or whatever you are, to be honest, there's nobody that's ugly. And this is just me coming out right now, telling you, black or white, skinny or chubby, I don't care what your looks are. This is me telling you, you're wonderfully and perfectly made by God. So if it means you looking up in the mirror and telling yourself, today is a good day. I love today and I love me. I love what I am doing. I know I'm not the best. I'm just starting. I know I will get there. If it means you doing that every morning, telling yourself you want to be great, please go ahead and do it. So let your mindset change. If you're faced with difficulties, another thing is if you're faced with difficulties, sit down. Don't be in a hurry to make a decision. Sit down, write those things that your challenges are, and then seek help. Honestly, you need to seek help. If you're faced with difficulties, list your difficulties out. This is where I'm stuck. This is where I'm stuck. What do I do from here? If you can get accountability help, partners, people who can help you, people you can confide in, which brings me back to another DP of people on the present. If you can get people in your circle, in your corner that are better off than you, go and reach out to them. Tell them, I want to do this. This is the idea that's in with me. This is what God is telling me. This is what I feel like I can do. This is where my strength lies. How do I do it? How can I go from there? If you have good people in your circle who are not greedy, who are not selfish, who are not self-centered, I'm sure they will give you guidelines on how to go about it. So people should also be able to reach out. This is me now telling everybody, whoever's listening or whoever that feels like you have one thing, but you're timid or you're scared, please reach out to people who are better off than you, who you know that they have what it takes to be able to help you grow, and then they'll help you grow. Another is setting goals. Now, this is not me saying, oh, a lot of people set goals, New Year resolution. Every year you come out and you say, oh, you want to set goals. You write them as long as they are, and then you never get to finish them. Realistic goals and achievable goals this time. Not vague goals, not goals of by the end of the year, I want to own a shop. By the end of the year, I want to become a business analyst. By the end of the year, no. You have to set, if it's a daily goal, set it. If it means you, today I'm going to go online, I'm going to find an institute where I can learn this particular course and I'm not going to pay. Your goal is that you want a free course, you don't want to pay for it, and you want to learn it. Fine. If today you determine and said, I'm going on Udemy, I'm going to find what it takes. Go out there, look for it. At the end of the day, you would have realized that you've achieved a goal of finding a platform for the course. That's a goal done. That's something that you tick on your book and say passed. But if we set goals and we're like, at the end of the year, at the end of the month, and you're not working towards it, those goals will not achieve themselves, to be honest. Those goals will not achieve themselves. So people need to set realistic goals, not vague goals that are achievable. If it means you setting them daily and you tick yourself and tell yourself you have done it, that's fine. If it means you setting it weekly, good. If it means you setting them monthly as well, whatever it is, long-term, there are long-term goals and there are short-term goals, but set goals. This is not you saying in your mind, in my mind, I will do this. In my mind, I will do that course. In my mind, I will achieve that. I will learn that skill. No, not in your mind. You have to write it down. You have to be intentional about it. You have to write it down. You have to work for it. Go look for it. Don't sit down there. And that's one. Another is, as much as people write these things and they want to do it, they're still held back with some challenges. It means that you need an accountability partner. It means that you need people that would help you get up when you're falling or when you're weak, because we're not all strong. I have my strength. My strength can be your weakness. Your weakness can be my strength. We all need people. So if you think that you're not good in this and you have a friend or you know somebody who can be a partner to you, reach out to these people. Tell them, I need you to be my accountability partner for this year. How? Okay, these are the goals that I set for myself. I know there are sometimes I get weary, I get down, and I can't do them. Please, could you help me? At times like that, those people will be there to lift you up. I know some people say, mentorship, I can't afford a mentor. My dear, some mentors are not too expensive. Some mentors are actually there for free, to be honest. Some are there to still give you the advice. Some are there to just help you. Some are there to work with you throughout the year. If you can get a mentor, get a mentor. If you can get a coach, get a coach. Another is to be engaged. You should be actively engaged on your networks, social networks. Your network is another place whereby it will help you get the ideas and the creativity that you need. You should be actively engaged. You cannot be in a group whereby you are learning digital skill and they're asking questions and you are mute. If you're busy, it's a different thing. But then you cannot be mute on a platform that is bubbling, that minds are flowing, and then you have your ideas and you are keeping it to yourself. How are you going to sell yourself out? How are people going to recognize what you carry? So please, these are things that people need to put in check. You need to come out there. You need to be actively engaged and stop your criticism. Stop criticizing yourself. Oh, stop criticizing people. Oh, people are doing this. You are striving to be better and you're already criticizing somebody that's out there. Why are you doing that? How do you want to grow? We should have, with this, the sky is big enough for everybody to fly, to be honest. Oh, you're doing digital marketing. I want to do digital marketing. Who says if I start my digital marketing program, I will not make profit? You have your own dreams. I have my own dream. My dream might be to be a digital marketer for a Fortune 500 company. Your dream might be to be a digital marketer for a very big company in Nigeria. You see, it doesn't mean you're not good. You're good in your own field. I'm good in my own field. I'm making my own dollars. You're making your naira. But at the same time, we're all progressing. So we need to set goals. We need to be engaging ourselves. We need to be actively engaging ourselves on networks and social medias. That way we can actually present our skills and everything that we have. And I think with all those steps, let go of criticism, let go of procrastination, be proactive, and then be serious with what you have. Whatever you have intended to do, take it up. Don't sit down there. Don't be sluggish about it. Or I will do it next time. Or I would. It's not possible. Tell yourself that you can do it. Reach out. Invest in yourself. People are finding it difficult to pay for classes. People are finding it difficult, but then they can buy clothes. Now, this is not me saying don't buy clothes. Please go ahead and look good. Have fun if you have to. But then invest in yourself. A $20, a 1,000 naira, 2,000 naira cost that will benefit you and make you earn more money is not too much for you. But people don't want to invest in themselves. They're just there. Oh, I am a teller. Oh, I am a photographer. What then? You see people striving, doing greater things. Like I said, it's the jet era. Before you know it, there will be no more camera phones. There'll be, was it 2-3 days ago, there's this post on Twitter. We're not going to have the smartphones, the smart TVs we have right now. It's not going to be on the screen. It's not going to be the TV that you hang on the wall. It is a projector. It's like a projector, but then it's like, I don't know how to put it. I don't know. It's like a bulb. So it flips itself and then it stays on the wall. So tell me, if you produce TV, and this is coming from Samsung company, it's going to be launched by the end of the year. If you produce TV that your TV is the one you hang on the wall, in 2-3 years from now, you'll be out of the market. So you should go with the trend. You need to search, ask questions, go on Google. Google is free. You don't pay for it. It only consumes your data if you're in Nigeria where you pay for data. But if you're in a country like ours where you just have your Wi-Fi, Google is free. Check on things, the area that if your whatever your field is, whatever your area of concentration is, or whatever your niche is, go out there, see what people are doing. Look up to people who are doing better than you. Monitor, observe what they do. Whatever they do will propel you to do what you want to do. It will propel you to be like them. It will propel you to seek more further help. It will propel you to invest more in yourself to be better. So those are the things that people need to work on. And I think with all those tips and all those nuggets, we'll be able to do better for ourselves in this new year.
Oh wow. Oh wow. Okay, so you talked about a number of things in that short time as well. First of all, you talked about having positive affirmation. Looking at yourself in the mirror every morning and speaking positively to yourself. You're the best version of yourself. You're beautiful. You're wonderful the way you are. Fantastic. That's a very critical thing. Then you talked about seeking help as well. If you need to get an accountability partner, do that. If you need to get a mentor, if you need to get a coach, what I realize is, especially in Africa, many people downplay the importance of having a coach or a mentor. Mm-hmm. Okay? But what you need to understand is even the best guys around the world, let's look at probably in athletics and all of that. The best footballer, for example, the best footballers, you have Messi, you have Ronaldo, they have coaches. Look at in tennis, Rafael Nadal and all of them, they have coaches. Look at boxing, Anthony Joshua and all of that, they have coaches. Yeah. So you are there, you are hoping to become outstanding, but somehow you feel it is irrelevant for me to get a coach. So you've talked about seeking help, fantastic. You also talked about setting goals. Now, if you have to be, achievable goals, don't just set unrealistic goals. If you have to make the goals daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, whatever it is, fantastic. You talked about being engaged as well. This is the era of social media. Get active. Your smartphone is not just there for you to look at what people are doing. They've always said there are two types of people. There are those that watch things happen, and there are those that make things happen.
True.
So a lot of people have their smartphones, and all they're looking at is looking at the news that people are making. When are you going to be the news that other people are watching? So you talked about that. Fantastic. And then you talked about investing in yourself as well. You need to go out of your way to invest your time, invest your money if you have to, invest your resources, develop yourself constantly, and that's very fantastic. And a number of things you talked about there. Now, there's something I get to do. I release a video every week. It's called 100 Seconds with SA. And what I just try to do is pick up one of these topics that I know people are struggling with, and I try to give them nuggets in 100 seconds, just a minute and 40 seconds. I release that every week, every Monday actually. So look out for another one coming out tomorrow. And a number of them have touched on several things that you've talked about. So you can go to my YouTube channel, Tasty Consults, and look out for it, or look out for it on IG as well. It's usually there. So for people that are listening, that's fantastic. Now, I know we're enjoying this. You're dropping so much gems for us, but we know we need to gradually start bringing this home. So sad. Okay, so tell us about the best piece of advice you have received about building your career.
Wow. So I will start by saying the best piece of advice I had given myself, or I've gotten, is I was told not to limit myself. So I remember I used to be a business administrator, and I just realized that I needed more for myself. I've always been someone who always strives to do great things, who always strives to be more. I've always wanted more. I've never ever felt comfortable wherever I was. Even right now, I still feel like I'm not doing anything, and I still feel like I need more, which I actually am not doing anything, to be honest. But I knew that I was not ready to limit myself. So other than being an administrator, I just told myself the area of business management is gone. I'm not doing this. And I still tell myself that I'm going to own a company. And this is something that's in line. This is something that it's stated. It's not something somebody's dreaming about telling me. This is something that I know. I'm talking about a massive tech company. So this is me telling myself that I cannot limit myself. I might not have what it takes right now, but as long as I know that this is what I want, and that God has given me the ability to do it, I'm ready to go all out for it. So as it is, guys, do not limit yourself. If you have what it takes to be great, if you have what it takes to invent things, if you have what it takes to be the best of you, if you were to sit down and tell your 20-year-old self, if you were 30 or you're 40, and tell your 10-year-old self of you, or knew you coming, what would they do? I'm sure you will have a lot of things to tell them. So do not limit yourself. And along the line, there's so many times we tell ourselves, oh, I wish I had this, I was able to do this at this age. Right now, at my age, I tell myself, I wish I knew what I knew now when I was 15 or when I was 16. I'm sure I would have grown. I would have exploded, to be honest. So it's just what it is. So for young ones coming up, and for people who actually are not advanced in age, who will still have a lot of time, and this is not me saying if you are old, you cannot achieve your dreams. Please, if you are 50, 60, and you have what it takes to be better, you have any ideas, you have your creativity, you are blessed, you're gifted, you're talented, go all out for it. Age is just a number. To be honest, you still have 70, the lifespan of a man ends at 70. So if you are 50, to be honest, you still have like 20 more years to be productive for yourself. 20 more years, which you can achieve great things in that 20 years. So at whatever stage of your life that you are, it's enough for you to pick yourself up. It's okay to have made mistakes. It's okay for you not to have gotten what you want. It's okay to have had so many failures along the line. But if you sit down there, those things will not work for themselves. This is you going to be regretting all the rest of your life. You would have wished that you did it. So right now, whatever that it is that you have been that's laid in your heart for you to do, whatever talents that you know that you are good at, whatever gift that you have been given, whatever experience that you've gathered, whatever skills that you have right now, and you know that you can use it for the benefit of yourself and for the impactation of world in at large. Because at the end of the day, all what we're doing is we're impacting lives, we're creating value. That's all we're doing. That's you having a purposeful life, to be honest. As a BA, what do? I solve problems for companies. Okay, what do? I make a difference for the company because there's a problem and I'm fixing it with tools. So you see, that is me making an impact in the company. If I leave tomorrow I'm known for something. Oh, Loretha did this for the company. Oh, she did that for the company. That's exactly what it is. At the end of the day, we should be able to meet a need. And if you creating value is something that you are being, which we all are called to do, I am sure you can do it. So whatever it takes for you to create that value, please go ahead and do it. Do not limit yourself. No matter what you're going through, no matter the difficulty around you, seek help. And I'm sure there are tons of people. I am here to reach out. If you want to reach out to me, please, you feel free. I am here to give you the advice, and I support people as much as I can. So the support that you get, a lot of people will definitely be there. The people who God has raised to help you. The people out there that would help you. They don't even need to collect money from you. They don't need you to pay. Along the line, you might have to pay for one or two things, but then there are people who will give you this advice, this experience, this knowledge for free, and then it will help you to be better. So please take away your negative beliefs. It's time for you to build a mindset of an achiever, of a successful person, and then work towards it. Pursue that dream of yours. Do not limit yourself. And I believe that with all this that I've said, if you go ahead and do all these things, I'm sure you'll do great at the end of the year. I'm very, very positive about that.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. I mean, you talked about how age is just a number, and whatever the age you are, you can sit around with me. And I just remember the story of KFC. Fried chicken. I mean, right now it's $1 billion franchise all over the world, but it started in someone, I think it was maybe 70, 80 when he started that. He was retired.
He started exactly.
Okay. He was retired when he started that.
True.
So it's never too late. I talked about life expectancy being 70. Well, that depends on the part of the world that you are. I think life expectancy is 50, 53 thereabout in Nigeria. All right, that aside. Okay, so if you could recommend one book or maybe one online resource for people that are listening and watching right now on how to position themselves to become successful in this era, what would that be?
Oh,
well, in addition to your book, definitely.
So right now, I'm actually reading a book on self-discipline by Nero. Hold on a second. I don't think I have the name right. And I'm actually reading a book on the Magic of Big Thinking by David Schwartz. That book is something that everybody needs to read. It really would, and it will enlarge your horizon, to be honest. It will help you as a leader. If you're a leader right now, if you're actually leading a lot of people, it will help you on how to lead effectively. If you're somebody who is attaining or striving to achieve success, it will give you principles on how to go. If you're somebody who is dealing with self-esteem, it would help you on how to get confidence. If you're somebody who lacks skills, it will teach you on how to gather skills. If you're somebody who do not have people relationship, you don't know how to communicate with people, it will help you relate with people in a way whereby they will be closer to you and they will be willing to assist you in whatever form. So with my own book being The Journey, How to Win Your Race, you can get that on Amazon. And this book called The Magic of Big Thinking by David Schwartz, that's one book I really would encourage people to read. It's a very nice book, yeah.
All right, fantastic. Thank you very much. So imagine you woke up one morning, right? And everything we knew about Loretha had disappeared. No one had ever heard about you before. All the work and all the experience you had in your professional life had scrapped, and you had to start to build your career all over again. What are you going to do differently this time?
That's a very tricky one, though. Well, because Loretha will always be somebody who never gives up, who always pushes and chases her dream. I've always loved tech, to be honest. I've always loved, people say, oh, the tech woman. I've always loved tech. So I think I would pursue the tech field, the IT field. I'll pursue that with so much intensity. This time, if I was to come back again and do things fresh, I would do more of the techie thing. And then I would find ways to impact lives, to impact young ones. To be honest, they are the future of tomorrow. They are the people who will take over the world. So if we're not impacting women, and this is not me saying you cannot impact the guy, generally impact young ones. But if you impact a woman will impact millions of people. If you impact a guy, he will definitely do the same. But women are more compassionate. And this is not me trying to talk down on men. Please, male folks, I'm so sorry. I'm not doing this to talk down on you all. But women are more compassionate. So if you impact a woman, she would consider the fact that you've done this. For those who are very, very talented, or those who are very compassionate with good hearts, they will bring 1 million other women alongside with them, or 1 million other people. So it's time for us to actually just impact the young ones, be it male, be it female, no talk down on any gender whatsoever, but please impact on the young ones. So if I was to come back again, I'll do more impactation. help people out, develop their skills, help them, promote them, support them in whatever field that they want to go to, embrace their dreams, whatever dream that they decide. If they want to be a photographer, whatever it is, if you want to be an artist, whatever it is that God has laid in your heart to do, and you've been gifted with that gift, I will do more of impartation, which is what I'm doing right now. But I'll actually start younger, start early, and then I'll go into the tech world.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Impact as much as you can. Very good. Very good. So if people needed to connect with you, what's the best place for them to go to? How would you want them to connect?
All right. So I have a Instagram account, which is this one, Loretha Akhagbemhe. You can reach me there. I have a Facebook account called Omosi Nogena, which is my native name. So it's OMOSI. Then Nogena is NOGHENENA, Nogena. So it's how it's pronounced. It's God, Omosi, daughter of the Most High. So that's my native name. You could reach me on my Facebook account as well. Send me a message. But mostly I do more on WhatsApp. So I'm really, really good at people reaching me on WhatsApp. I could be very busy at times, and I don't really get on my social media as much as I could. But then if you drop me a message on my messenger or you reach me out on Instagram, I'll definitely reply you, and I could reach out to you. I will give you my contacts from there, and then you get my WhatsApp number, and then we can communicate from there. Other than that, I'm also on LinkedIn as Loretha Akhagbemhe, and I'm also on Twitter as well as Loretha Akhagbemhe. So it's the same thing. You can always reach me on any platform as Loretha Akhagbemhe.
All right, fantastic. Thank you very much. So before we let you go, how has this pandemic affected you as a person?
Whoa, talking about this pandemic affecting me as a person. Work life has changed. Work life has changed. You know, right now, our companies don't even want us to come back to work. In terms of in presence, everybody have to work from home. So right now, companies are saving money in quotes because there's office spaces are not needed. You know, office spaces are not needed. We hire people all the way from Nigeria. We hire people all the way from South Africa. We hire people all the way from Kenya. We hire people all the way from India and Brazil, different part of the world. And then they do the same exact thing if you were to be in the office. So life has changed. But now we do more, honestly, because there's so much speed, there's so much expectations. The expectations are high. So they expect you to deliver at a very certain time, and your workload is increased. So with the pandemic, we do more work, but then there's this thing about you working from home, you have comfort, which is really not true, because to be honest, you working from home makes you work more longer. It makes you skip lunch. It makes you skip dinner, because at that time you are meeting up with expectation. There's a deadline. There's a meeting. You might be seated dressed up like this and still wearing shorts. Okay, they are just seeing your head to your face because it's a Zoom meeting. But then again, you're literally stuck on that chair. And they're not watching you, but then there's supposed to be a report you fill at the end of the day, or this meeting, or there's some things that tells them that you're working. And if you're not there doing it, they'll definitely find out that you're not working. So as much as it feels like we're home working, there's still so much expectations from us. So it's work from home life. It's a lot of work. It's deadline meetings. It's meetings and upon meetings. It's you meeting up with tax and all that. And things have really changed. And hopefully we don't know when we're going to be going back to the office fully in terms of working back to the office. But until then, we keep working from home and we keep doing our things and meeting our goals. That's what it's been.
All right, Miss Loretha Akhagbemhe, thank you very much. You poured out yourself to us tonight, out of your wealth of experience. Like you said earlier, you were going to talk to us out of your experience, things that you have gone through yourself, been able to come out of them, and you have shared a lot of knowledge. For those that are here, please show us some love. Show Miss Loretha some love in the chat box.
I love you all so much.
So much today, and we really, really appreciate you for taking our time to join us.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
On behalf of everybody, I want to say thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you all so much, guys. God bless you. Have a blissful Sunday, and I wish you a very productive new week as well. Thank you all. Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.